Hello and welcome to Sportstar Extras. I am Ayan Acharya and we are here to review the first day's play from the Aegis Bowl in Southampton, where repeated rain delays have forced umpires to call off play, with Pakistan reeling at 126 for 5. Babar Azam is batting on 25 and has Mohammad Rizwan for company. And quite frankly, Babar seems to be the only hope for Pakistan when it comes to getting to a modest first innings total. So, how exactly did the day pan out? Who stood out? Who disappointed? To discuss that and more, we have Ashwin Achal joining us from Bangalore. Good evening, Ashwin.
And how's it going?
Good. Right. What's with Pakistan's batting? I mean, they seem to have done everything right today. Azhar Ali won the toss, batted first. They were 78 for one, and then things just went south in the third session, losing 3 wickets in quick succession to cede the advantage.
Yeah, same old story, Ayan. Again, the batting has let Pakistan down. I mean, we saw this in the first test, and I think they haven't learned from their mistakes in the first test. Same old problems, just not sticking in, not showing the patience to play long. Most of the batsmen getting out with edges to slips, just indisciplined, hanging their bat out there, fishing outside the body. May as well just let it go. I mean, we think we had three catches
Yeah.
to slips out of the 5 wickets that fell today. Just
Yeah.
indisciplined, absolutely indisciplined.
Yeah.
And a lot depends on Babar Azam from here on. If
Yeah.
England want to make a match of this, I mean, if they get bowled out
Yeah.
for under 200, it's all over, right? The series is
Yeah.
gone, right?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, correct. And it's interesting you mentioned about the slip catches because let's not forget Abid Ali got two lives. He was dropped twice in the cordon, once by Sibley and Rory Burns, and will be gutted to not have made the most of those chances. He got a gritty 60, but I'm sure, I mean, that obviously in retrospect isn't enough, and plenty will ride. Yeah,
Yeah, not good enough, Ayan. You're right. I mean, 60, yeah, that sounds nice. But look at the way he got out, just hanging his bat out there with the current ball, which moved a bit away, edged it to slip. And this was after getting a couple of lives. I mean, you think that
yeah,
you would have learned by then. But it's not good enough. No? 60 in a test match, that's not good enough, especially if you're a
yeah.
settled batsman, you're batting well, you've got a few chances, you got to make the most of it and get to 100 if you really want to make a difference in the match.
Yeah, and spare thought for Fawad Alam. I mean, playing a test match after 11 years and to get out in that fashion. He does remind you of Shivner and Chanderpaul, doesn't he, with that stance?
Yeah, yeah, he does. But the interesting thing is, at the time of contact with the delivery,
Yeah,
he's quite square on and nice. So,
yeah,
do you really need such an exaggerated movement to come into that position? I mean, I know this is a bit of a stretch with us, complaining about the technique of international batsmen, and of course, Fawad Alam has been doing well in domestic cricket and all that.
yeah,
But it's an odd and exaggerated movement. Yeah, quite similar to Chandapal, even more exaggerated than Chandapal. I mean,
yeah,
he is absolutely facing the bowler. It's unbelievable. But
right.
yeah, I mean, whatever it is, it didn't work. Slightly unlucky, I'd say, with that LBW. Looked
Mm,
like it may have pitched just outside leg, which is why I think the umpire also gave it not
yeah,
out initially. But yeah, technology. I mean, can't complain much. I guess out is out.
right. Yeah. So moving on, before we wrap up, quite interesting choices when it came to playing 11 for both teams. England dropped Archer. We discussed earlier in our preview how Zach Crawley could find a place, and that's exactly what has happened. Crawley is in, so is Sam Curran. And Pakistan have opted for Fawad Alam, who has replaced Shadab Khan. So both teams are backing heavy in this test match, aren't they?
Batting heavy, Curran coming in place of Archer, probably didn't see that coming.
Hmm.
I think they look at Curran as sort of a batting all rounder
Yeah, yeah,
in the mold of Ben Stokes, who's not playing this match.
yeah,
And I think you guys can't go too wrong with playing seamers in England. Whoever
hmm,
it may be, I'm sure they will get some movement. We saw Curran also get the important wicket of Abid Ali today. So a bit of a surprise, but given the conditions, I think it will work out.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, speaking of conditions, the weather forecast doesn't look very promising for day two or day three, or for that matter, all the remaining 4 days. So that could be the only saving grace for Pakistan, given the way the batting has fared, at least on day one. Yeah, so that would be all from our side. Let's see how much game time we get on day two. Babar Azam, as Ashwin said, would be hoping to score as many as possible with some help from the remaining batters. England, on the other hand, would pin their hopes on wiping out the tail as quickly as possible. So yeah, let's see how day two unfolds. That would be all from our side. This is Ayan Acharya with Ashwin Achal signing off for Sportstar Live. Thank you so much for watching us.